Hello students, welcome to week 7 for COM 420. This week we are looking at the idea of entertainment education and digital engagement within our course. Particularly you're reading chapters 13 and 14 of our course text, and you're also reading the WHO Ebola Strategic Plan, which is attached within the Blackboard Week 7 module. Also, it's important to keep in mind we are watching a number of videos that are related to both assignments this week. Discussion number 7 asks you to look at some of the ideas that sparked the Arab Spring. So there are a couple of videos related to that. And then the other videos pertain to Global Communication Campaign Analysis number 2, which looks at the Ebola Strategic Plan. Do know that we've already completed a communication analysis on the slave route through UNSCO. Now we're looking at a different one. Discussion number 7 asks you to watch the videos attached within the weekly module about Arab Spring. It's after watching some videos, explore Amnesty International's work related to the movement. There is a URL provided within the discussion board that helps you understand a little more about it. What you need to do is provide a detailed description of what the Arab Springs movement was, how it's utilized today, compare and contrast findings from the beginning of the movement to what's done today with the movement, provide an analysis of relevant media theories utilized within the movement that you think may have been successful, and provide reflections and your thoughts of the movement and use of digital communication strategies that may have been used or you think would be beneficial to be used within this particular setting. So it's really kind of giving an analysis to this particular uprising that has happened a couple years ago. You do need to have a 400-word post that's due on Friday with your replies due on Sunday. The Global Communication Analysis number 2 is due this week. This one works specifically by looking at WHO, which is the World Health Organization's efforts on the Ebola Strategic Plan. So when Ebola came to be a worldwide phenomenon, an outbreak a couple years ago, the World Health Organization took the lead on ensuring that it didn't spread further than it needed to and getting people vaccinated and treated that were infected or were in close proximities that could have possibly been affected by it or infected by it too. So what happened is I want you to look at some of the WHO videos on this, as well as look at their strategic plan, which is attached in Blackboard, to analyze and also analyze web content related to the topic, to do an analysis of their global communicative efforts. So you need to provide a summary / situation analysis of the topic. This is where you're telling the reader everything they need to know about Ebola, the Ebola outbreak, and the situation at hand. So what I mean by situation at hand is I mean the particular communicative points that are important about this particular health outbreak. How does this impact us on a global level? What communication elements are really important and useful at this particular point in this time? And how does Ebola influence and affect all of us in the world? Analyze and share all global media coverage related to this. So what was out there, what was covered, not just by U.S. media networks, but also international networks, and then compare the dissemination of the coverage within the concepts of the course readings. Provide us with at least 3 examples of media that you found. So at least 3 things you found covered in media during the outbreak: web posts, pictures, media coverage, links to news reports, things like that. Determine how effective you felt the coverage of the topic was in building awareness of the topic and globally communicating the topic to the world. Then share what your opinion is of the WHO, the World Health Organization's strategic plan for Ebola. Share how the communication campaign could be improved, or how it was exemplary, how it related to the media coverage given, because remember, who was behind gaining media coverage. So we need to analyze now at this point how the World Health Organization and the job that they did in terms of communicating Ebola to the world. Did it help reduce the amount of people that were infected or affected by this? Do you think they need to re-implement the campaign utilizing more digital media tools? What are your thoughts on the campaign as itself? So the beginning is providing a summary and situation, letting us know how big this Ebola thing really was. The second and third thing you'll do is provide examples of media coverage about Ebola and how effective you think those are. The fourth thing you'll do is talk about the Ebola campaign that the World Health Organization put on in itself and how effective you think it may have been. The fifth and last thing you'll do is provide a reflection of the campaign and also integrate any Christianly perspectives you can provide within the communicative aspects of the topic. This should be at least 3 pages and in full APA format. If you have any questions, let me know, and be more than willing to help you out with this. This is due on Sunday. As you look through some of the ideas and the responses for this Ebola outbreak, know that the World Health Organization had 5 strategic objectives. They wanted 1, to stop the transmission of the Ebola virus in affected countries. 2, they wanted to prevent new outbreaks of the Ebola virus in new areas and countries. 3, they wanted to safely reactivate essential health services and increase the resilience of those health services in affected countries. Fast-track Ebola research and development, and coordinate national, international Ebola responses. That's what you'll be analyzing on who did. How effective were they in doing those 5 things? As you look at entertainment communication, this is really where we look at some of the fictional narratives and we look at how communication is indirectly communicated to people by using entertainment to do that. So entertainment education is a communication strategy. It's not a theory. That is the process of purposely designing and implementing media messages to both entertain and educate audiences in order to increase their knowledge and perceptions about a particular topic, as well as creating favorable attitudes and changing overt behaviors of those said topics. In doing so, this is really beneficial in providing a direct method to educate an audience through entertainment and to change perceptions through indirect communication. It works by utilizing powerful narratives to entertain, engage, and involve the audience. It relies on the specific use of communication theories to involve audiences within the content that's presented through popular media, so books, digital communication, television, in that sense. Audiences are involved within the narrative by experiencing psychological, emotional, and cognitive attachment to these things. Walter Fisher's narrative paradigm states that storytelling is a universal function, and so it really works in this sense in getting the audience involved in these particular topics. As we look at audience involvement within entertainment education, it's important to know that we rely on 3 factors. The first one's transportation, meaning the audience member must be transported figuratively to the character's world. Parasocial interaction has to occur, meaning that the audience has to feel as if they have a personal relationship with the characters or celebrity, and then they have to identify with the experiences within the story presented in order for it to be educational. As we look through some of these things, keep in mind how that may be useful to the assignments this week. We're reading chapters 13 and 14. We're reading the Ebola Strategic Plan attached in Blackboard. We're watching a series of videos all related to the course content and completing discussion board number 7 and global communication campaign analysis number 2. If you have any questions, let me know. I look forward to interacting with you this week.